everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from Sacred Soul Empowerment, here with my new monthly Empowered Moments video for the month of August 2023. So for this month's monthly Empowered Moments video, we're going to be using the Sirian Star Seed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. Your special message card this month, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle deck by Kyle Gray. So it's a really important and powerful month this month because we're in the Lion's Gate portal of energy, which we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. So before we get into looking at our stones of choice or talking about anything, let's go ahead, close our eyes, relax our bodies, clear our minds, and let's do an empowered moment. So if you go ahead and do that, just kind of get yourself comfortable in your chair, or maybe you're reclining or lying down, or maybe even standing up, whatever you're led or guided to do. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Exhale through the mouth. Make sure your legs and your arms are uncrossed. Allow that flow of energy to be clear, open, and direct. Visualize, sense, see, feel, or just know that you're surrounded with this beautiful etheric golden white light, God, Source, Energy, Universe, all that is. Source, creation, whatever you want to call this wonderful, powerful, infinite energy. Let's take in a deep breath with the intention that you're breathing in that powerful, guiding, and loving etheric golden white light, breathing it into every cell of your body. As you exhale, letting go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs. Let's do another in-breath, breathing in the activation energies of this wonderful guiding light. As you exhale, imagine or visualize a grounding cord coming out of your root chakra, going down deep through all the layers of Earth Mother Gaia, connecting to her crystalline heart chakra in the center of the earth. And this time, when you inhale, imagine that you're breathing in Earth Mother Gaia's nurturing, healing, golden elixir of light from her heart chakra. This grounding, protective energy from Earth Mother Gaia, breathing it all the way up through your grounding cord, and as you exhale, allowing it to be dispersed through all of your energy bodies and through all of your chakras, merging with that etheric golden white light of Creator Source. Focusing your attention now on the energy of the Lion's Gate portal, which started just a few days ago, the end of July, and open until August 12th, with the highest point of energy being August 8th, 8-8, Lion's Gate. And there's a special alignment of our sun with the star Sirius, the great central sun, and some other planetary and galactic energies that are taking place now at this time, allowing for higher dimensional light codes, activations of dormant DNA, giving us an upsurge of evolutionary growth as these higher dimensional energies rain down upon us, are given to us like a gift from the universe, a gift from the goddess, a gift from above, a gift from all around. So see or sense or feel or imagine or visualize these light codes shining down, raining down all around you. Perhaps you see them as little sparkles of light. Perhaps you see them in different colors, the colors of the rainbow. Perhaps it just looks like a waterfall of beautiful energy showering down upon you and all around you. So visualize this light code energy, this light activation energy. And take in a deep breath and breathe in the intention. Breathe in with intention. These light codes of energy, accepting them, welcoming them, allowing them in to expand and open your heart chakra, to expand and open your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, all of your chakras. Clearing, releasing, letting go, purging out energetically what you no longer need to carry from this or previous lifetimes or parallel lifetimes throughout all directions and dimensions of time and space. And as you clear and release, let go, this leaves room, this leaves space for something new, something better, something more aligned with your higher self, more aligned with your higher truth. Call in your angels and guides. Invite in the archangels, the ascended masters, our ancestors of the light, our star family of the light. Invite in these higher vibrational energies and activations. Taking one last deep, healing, cleansing, activating breath. And as you exhale and in your own time, you can open your eyes, returning to this time and place and space. Perhaps you want to take another deep breath, letting all of that energy and goodness settle in through your body, mind, and soul. And let's go ahead and take a look at now our stones of choice for this monthly Empowered Moments reading. So the first stone of choice I have here, and these are all new stones, maybe not new in the sense that I might have other ones that are similar like it, but new in the sense that I just got these on my trip, my 4-day trip that I took at the end of July to Asheville, North Carolina, and then Boone, North Carolina, and then Beach Mountain, North Carolina, and Grandfather Mountain, North Carolina. It was such a wonderful, beautiful, spiritual time. These, I believe, all three came from Boone, North Carolina, a wonderful little town, eclectic little town. They had a lot of little shops downtown. And I found these three, I found lots, but these three special stones. So this is prehnite. You can see that it has inclusions in it, right? These black inclusions. The inclusions are epidote and black tourmaline, but the green stone itself is prehnite. Now, this one has a connection to the solar plexus chakra and the heart chakra. So awakening that heart chakra, the healing of emotions, relationships, the healing and activation of the solar plexus chakra, where your courage, confidence, and personal power are. This is a stone of unconditional love. It enhances precognition. I can say it. It enhances precognition, which is like clairvoyance. So it's enhancing our clairvoyance, or our ability to see something before it happens, precognition. It also activates and enhances our inner knowing, which is like claircognizance, right? Where we just know something to be. This is also helpful in removing what is no longer needed. It's called a decluttering stone. So the decluttering stone helps us to remove and let go, release of what is no longer needed. All right, stone number 2. This one might be a little hard in this lighting to see, but this is actually ruby in matrix. Now you can see, if you look really closely, you can see the faint pinkish red within the matrix here. The matrix is more like the black stone, but the ruby, there's little blotches of it all around on both sides of this ruby in the matrix. This one activates the root chakra and the heart chakra. So root chakra is our physical energy, vitality, our sense of security. It's where we want to feel grounded. And the heart chakra, of course, again, emotional healing, healing of the emotions, healing of relationships. The ruby in matrix is helpful with strength and courage and love, unconditional love as well. And it helps us to focus on the present moment, to be in the present moment. It's a great stone for self-care, which we all need, probably now more than ever these days. It's great for helping us with emotional expression. Again, supports our physical vitality. It's known as a very protective stone, and it helps with spiritual self-knowledge. And then the last stone, I'm really excited about this one because I don't think I have any of these ones. This is blue tiger eye. You can see, even when I turn it over on the other side, you can see the tiger eye, right? And then it's got the blue. So blue tiger's eye, love it. This one activates the third eye chakra. Okay, so the third eye chakra, right, is where our clairvoyance is and our inner vision is, right? It's that inner sight. So this one itself is helpful with willpower, strength, and courage. It helps us to overcome challenges in our life. It helps with proper communication. So we're also going to connect this not only with the third eye chakra, but the throat chakra, right? With that blue energy. Proper communication, mental clarity, and inner peace. This one helps to balance the physical and the spiritual worlds. So again, we'll take one last look here. We've got the prehnite with epidote and black tourmaline in there. We've got the ruby in matrix. There, we've got a nice little blotch there. And then we've got the blue tiger's eye. Okay, so let you think about that for a little bit. Let's talk about the numerology vibration of the month of August. The month of August is always the 8th month, but we have to add it to the universal year vibration to get what the universal month number is. And since 2023, 2 plus 2 plus 3 is a 7, we're in a 7 universal year vibration, which is a very yin year, very internal soul reflection, soul healing, connecting with our own inner authority, inner guidance, connecting with our higher soul self, learning to have faith and trust, working through some mental body issues to have more clarity or to see things from a different perspective, using our analytical and logical abilities, but merging that with our intuitive and clair abilities is what that number 7 universal year, in a nutshell and very quickly, is all about. Now, when we add the 7 to the number 8, that gives us the number 15. The 15 is not a master number. It's not a karmic number either. So we're going to take the 1 plus the 5 and reduce it down to a 6. Now, the 6 in numerology is about home and family and living situations, property, land, the earth. It's also about our emotions and emotional bodies. So healing our emotions, healing emotional relationship dynamics between us and others, especially with family members or those that are very close to us that are like our family. So all of these things are going to be a focus of energy. It's a very nurturing, caretaking, mothering kind of number, the number 6. It can relate to counseling, life coaching, listening skills, kind of that gentle, mothering, healing sort of energy. Now, if we look at the number 15, which is the double digit, and we look at what it relates to in the tarot, and this is from the Sirian Star Seed Tarot, it's called the shadow. So Major Arcana 15 is in the traditional tarot known as the devil card. So this isn't to be something scary or difficult. All the devil card means, and in this again, in this deck, it's called the shadow. That's what it is. It's looking at our shadow. It's looking at the places where we hold negative thoughts or negative perceptions or lower vibrational emotions or feelings. We're looking at the shadow side here. The devil card brings up feelings sometime of fear, anxiety, nervous energy about the future. Sometimes it might feel like you're feeling trapped. Sometimes in the traditional tarot, it shows a person that's within like a cage of some sort or in chains where their limbs, their wrists, and their ankles are in chains. The thing is with the devil card is that usually those chains are not like connected, or the end of the chain isn't connected to anything, or the cage that the person might be in, the door is wide open. So what is that saying? That's saying that we make our own self-imposed prison. It's like through our fearful thoughts and through the anxiety that like thinking about the future and the worst case scenario of what could unfold or what could happen, we're creating our own self-imposed prison here. So the shadow is about going in and shining light upon the shadow, right? We're in the Lion's Gate energy right now. So let's shine that Leo the Lion, sunny energy and light, that energy from the star Sirius and all of those other planetary and galactic configurations going on right now. Let's shine the light upon the shadows and let's transmute those shadows. Here we see like a spider web and we see the shadows of two people. So the spider web, it catches us up. We get caught up or whatever in this sticky substance of the spider web. And the sticky substance, again, is the lower vibrational emotions and thoughts and all of those that trip us up. This has an indication here that it might be about your relationships with other people. This could be your relationship with yourself too, but maybe family, friends, significant others in your life, where the shadow of our own fears and anxieties are playing out with the shadow fears and anxieties of someone else, and it's just getting blown way out of proportion. Okay, so again, let's shine our light upon the shadow energies, and let's realize that the door to the cage is open. The chains are not binding us to anything, that we have the ability to free ourselves and liberate ourselves from these shadow fears, from these shadow anxieties this month. Okay? All right, so that is a little bit about the numerology. Let's go ahead and talk about the astrological highlights of the month. Now, it might not seem that there's a lot of astrological highlights this month. In the weekly readings, there's definitely a lot going on, but I'm just picking out like highlights. And what I'll say is that aside from what I'm going to talk about, there's a lot of personal planets that are connecting to other personal planets going on. And what does that mean? Personal planets are planets that move faster through the zodiac, like the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Even to some extent, we might consider Jupiter and Saturn in there, even though they move a little bit more slowly. When personal planets connect to other personal planets, it talks about our everyday life shifting and changing and dealing with like work and career and money and finances and relationships and projects, all of those tangible third dimensional things, as opposed to like the outer planets like Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto that deals with more of a collective energy, an evolutionary energy. So the fact that we have a lot of planetary, personal planet energies going on, there's going to be a lot of things that we're dealing with on an earthly level on a day-to-day basis that need to be taken care of. But to look at the highlights, on the 1st of August, we have a full moon at 9 degrees of Aquarius. Full moons are always about the magnification of some emotional energy. And depending on what sign the full moon is in, gives us a little clue as to what that emotional energy is all about. So this one is Aquarius. Aquarius is not an emotional sign. It's more of a logical, objective, idea-oriented sign. It's an air sign, so it deals with the mental realm. So we're combining emotional energy with mental energy with this full moon in Aquarius. So there's a magnification of this idea of logic, or this idea of humanitarian endeavors, or networking, connecting with groups of like-minded people, all those things that Aquarius rules. Aquarius also rules claircognizance, where we just have a download. Speaking of downloads, right? We're in the 8/8 Lionsgate portal until August 12th. So this is a great full moon to have during this time, because it's opening our claircognizance for the downloads of higher vibrational energies, to where we just have these epiphanies, these aha moments, these little flashes of insight coming in. And that's part of that Aquarius energy. This full moon is going to challenge or square Jupiter, which Jupiter kind of magnifies or exaggerates certain energies. This can be good, but it also is a challenging aspect, so it can be a little tricky. It might have us exaggerating, for instance, emotional stubbornness, because Aquarius is a stubborn sign. So there's a stubbornness with this Aquarius energy, and the full moon again gets, the emotions get blown out of proportion, or our emotional buttons get pushed. So there can be an exaggeration of those energies. We're also looking at our belief systems with that square to Jupiter. And this full moon is in conjunct to Mars, the warrior planet, who actually is in logical, analytical Virgo right now. Not his favorite place to be. Mars is a fire planet, and usually likes to be in a fire sign, or maybe an air sign as far as secondary. But to be in Earth, it kind of bogs down the momentum and forward movement of Mars. So he's putting his energy into the details. He's putting his energies into his thought processes. He's putting his energy into creating like a strategy, or using discernment with the next steps. All right, and then we're going to skip all the way to the 16th of August. On the 16th of August, we have a new moon. The new moon is in Leo, 23 degrees of Leo. So new moons are about new beginnings, and Leo is about our sunny, bright, creative self-expression out in the world, right? It's that heart chakra energy. So it's a new beginning with how we're feeling, how we're expressing our emotions, how we're expressing our love. And hopefully we can move it up to a higher heart chakra kind of love, because Leo does rule the heart and the heart chakra, and Leos are very loving and generous and kind, but the lower level of Leo can sometimes get egotistical, or sometimes get demanding, especially if they don't feel like they're getting back what they're putting out. So the higher aspect of Leo is opening that higher heart chakra to unconditional love. So perhaps, because this is just a few days after that August 12th gateway, Lions Gateway closing, hopefully we'll have a whole new open heart chakra and be able to have this new beginning with how we're expressing this higher sense of love and leadership and courage and confidence and creative self-expression. And then on the 23rd of August is when the sun moves into Virgo. This is the time every August, around this time, that the sun moves into Virgo for a month. So then we're shifting away from the fire Leo energy and shifting into the earth Virgo energy, which is again more practical, logical, paying attention to details, analyzes things, comes up with a strategy, uses discernment. It's a very mental sign. On the same day, the 23rd, Mercury, planet that rules the mind and the mental realm, our thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and communications, is turning retrograde in Virgo. So it turns retrograde at 21 degrees of Virgo. It's going to go all the way back to 8 degrees Virgo before it's said and done. That's going to take a few weeks. But even before the 23rd, right, especially it's about a week before, we start to really feel the Mercury retrograde energies start to settle in, where there's miscommunication, missed appointments, missed meetings, misunderstandings. And this particular Mercury retrograde is in one of its home signs because Mercury rules Virgo. It's going to be particularly strong. Now, I will say that Mercury goes into its shadow period all the way back on August 4th. So pretty much all this month, except for the first 4 days, we've got Mercury in its shadow and then Mercury turning retrograde, and for the rest of the month it will be retrograde. It doesn't go direct until sometime in September, and then after that, again, there's still that after shadow period of Mercury as well. So what is this Mercury retrograde most beneficial for? You know, all of them are beneficial to review, revise, reevaluate. This one especially, because it's in Virgo and that's the ruling sign, is going to be, again, stronger and more magnified. Pay attention to the details. Come up with a strategy, right? It's like very much using the powers of discernment, which I feel is one of our psychic abilities, really. By, you know, using, we think of it as being a logical thing, but I feel like if we can read between the lines, if we can understand the nuances, if we can feel the undercurrents of energies from people or situations or circumstances, that's a power of discernment that not everybody has. So foster that. All right, and then we're going to skip to the 27th of August. This is when Mars shifts out of Virgo and into Libra. So it's going to be in Libra until October 12th, so a few weeks. And Mars then is going to put his energy more towards Libra things, which is partnerships, relationships, equality, compromise, peacemaking, okay? On the 28th, or is it the 29th? The 28th, Uranus, the Great Awakener, is turning to retrograde motion at 23 degrees of Taurus. Now, Uranus is one of those slow-moving planets that rules the collective energy. So it's going to be retrograde all the way until late January of 2024. And it only goes back from 23 degrees Taurus, starting on the 28th of August, to 19 of Taurus, again, late January 2024. So we're mostly going to feel this retrograde about a week before the retrograde actually starts, maybe a few days afterwards. And Uranus's energy is all about freedom and liberation, and he's the rebel. He likes to rebel against things. He likes to be strange and different and unusual and unique and eclectic. And it rules science, and it rules astrology, and it rules this electrical kind of God-mind energy, connection to universal source sort of energy dynamic. So this too, again, we might feel all month for those that are very, very sensitive, but especially a week and a half before, you might feel even more agitated, more nervous, anxious energy, maybe an inability to sleep properly or calm yourself down and ground yourself in meditation, because Uranus has that kind of electrical zapping sort of current of energy going on. All right, and then on the 30th of August, we have another full moon. So it's interesting that we have a full moon on the 1st, and then the 2nd to the last day of August, we have another full moon. This one's at 7 degrees of Pisces. So again, we have this phase of completion, and Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So it kind of heightens and magnifies this idea of full moon completion and full moon healing going on with that Pisces energy. And Pisces does rule other realms, past lives, and things like that. So we're winding up a cycle here. That full moon is going to be in conjunct, which is an aspect, to Venus. Now, Venus is still retrograde in Leo, Venus actually turned retrograde towards the end of July. So she's still retrograde, and she's all about self-love, self-care. It's about, the divine feminine, feeling appreciated and recognized, using her creative self-expression, shining her light. So this full moon in Pisces, connecting with Venus, is going to ask us to look a little bit deeper at how we appreciate ourselves, how we feel we're being recognized and appreciated in circumstances, situations, and relationships in our lives, and how we're utilizing our inner light and our inner creative self-expression and our inner goddess energy, because Venus is the ruler of divine feminine energies. So that is a little bit about the astrology. Let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides. So the first card we have here is Major Arcana 3. This is, in the traditional tarot, it's the Empress card. In this card, in this deck, the Sirian Star Seed Tarot, it's labeled Abundance. Now I love this because look at this triangle of energy, this waterfall of energy coming down her arms. We've got the Empress here standing amongst the cosmos, and it feels like there's a download of energy here. There's a straight line down to her crown chakra. There's also lines coming in to the sides of her head or her ear chakras. And we've got this beautiful kind of light codes, right? The 8-8 Lionsgate portal, where we've got the light codes of energy, an abundance of energy coming down to activate the goddess, activate our inner light, activate the creative self-expression, because the Empress is a feminine creator. She's normally shown pregnant in the traditional tarot. So she's pregnant with life. She's getting ready to birth something new. So here we've got the birthing of this new higher vibrational energy that's going on. We've got this abundance of light codes, activation of DNA, activation of our higher fifth dimensional light being. Okay, so we have all these wonderful showering down of these activations and light codes happening, and opening to our heart chakra, opening our sacral chakra, which to me is goddess energy, right? So we're opening up that creative self-expression and that sensuality, that passion energy for life and who we are, and about to give birth again to this higher vibrational energy. And it's coming out in droves. It's just kind of falling out in droves here. So welcome that, accept that, bring that in, intend to breathe it in, especially during the first 12 days of August, as we're in the Lionsgate portal and these galactic and planetary alignments are happening, okay? Let's take a look at the second card. The second card is the Adept of Flames. The Adept of Flames. This is like the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Fire in the traditional tarot. So knights are a very energetic court card, right? We got the pages, which are the younger energy. We sometimes call it more of an immature childlike energy. We got the knight, that would be like a teenager or young adult who's full of passion, full of life, full of confidence, feels like they can do anything, has this abundance of energy to move, in a particular area. And the area that this knight is moving into is the flames, the fire, the wands. This is spiritual energy, creative energy, inspirational energy. So this is probably one of the highest energies of the court cards, right? The queen and the king is a little bit more mature. But we can see a lot of yellow here. We've got a yellow candle, solar plexus energy, personal power, confidence, courage, leadership ability. His solar plexus chakra is also lit up here. Again, confidence, courage, leadership ability, personal power, owning your power, taking back your power, utilizing your power in the best, most efficient way for the benefit of all. So he looks a little mysterious, right? He's got kind of this kind of purplish cloak on. So again, the suit of flames or fire is a spiritual suit. Purple is a very spiritual color, usually relates to the crown chakra. Opening that crown chakra, listening to the intuition, listening to divine guidance, following the steps that are given to you through clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, and all of the other clairs, to be able to move forward on the path. This is a very, again, vital, passionate, energized energy right now. So far, these first two cards are awesome, like very awesome for this month. Sometimes, as a shadow aspect of the Knight of Wands, sometimes he can move a little too quick or take action before he thinks things through. I'm going to say especially after the sun moves into Virgo and Mercury is already in Virgo. We might want to try to slow our mind down a little bit, think things through a little bit, come up with the pros and cons, make the best decision through using our discernment. That's possible because sometimes the Knight can act a little bit overly zealous and too quick. All right, but that's the only thing. I think other than that, it's great. And then the last card, another major arcana, and so appropriate. Major Arcana 8, Strength, the Strength card. We're in the 8th month. August is the 8th month. It's Leo season for the first part of the month, right? Normally the Strength card does have a lion on it. This one has a tiger on it, so it's still part of the cat family, but you can see this fire, this passion, this energy, this exuberance, this leadership ability, roaring like the lion or roaring like the tiger, taking charge. Now this isn't meaning to take charge in a negative sense, although sometimes it can, again, get a little overzealous and be a little demanding or commanding or, try to take control. Now, if you take control of your own life, that's one thing, but try not to exert that control onto other people. Try not to roar like the lion or tiger at other people. Right? Try to just be the leader in an appropriate sense. Again, strength, the Strength card to me would relate to that solar plexus chakra, like the Knight of Wands showing here. So we're learning to use our personal power in a wise way. We're learning to take back our personal power if we've given it away in the past or if we've been disempowered in certain situations or circumstances. So we're just feeling this fiery, zealous, confident, courageous energy right now. We're coming up into our strength, our inner strength and vitality, and really kind of like having confidence and moving forward with our life in some area of our life. We might not be taking action quite yet because Mercury is going to be going retrograde and we want to dot all the I's and cross all the T's and make sure that we've got all the details. But we're very passionate and we're very energized in order to do those things, to plan ahead, to take those next steps. And some of you might be just jumping the gun here and taking those next steps anyway, which is fine. It's everybody's on their own personal journey and everybody's got a unique astrological chart, and that helps to guide you in divine timing as to what to do, when to do, and how to do. But I feel like this is definitely a very highly energized month in a lot of ways. So take advantage of that. Let's see what you get for a special message depending on your stone of choice. So the first stone of choice was the prehnite with epidote and black tourmaline. Of course, we know black tourmaline to be a highly protective stone, right? So let's give this a little shuffle here. Prehnite people, special message for prehnite for August. Prehnite people. This one jumped out at me when I opened my eyes. Ancestral realm. So this could be that you're connecting with your ancestors. This could be your biological ancestors, your spiritual ancestors. They're with you right now, especially during the Lion's Gate energy. Maybe you're doing some ancestral healing. Maybe you're taking a class on the ancestors. This actually says at the bottom, karmic release, okay? So these higher vibrational light codes of energy are helping you with karmic release, healing the lineage and boundaries. Okay, so the boundaries could actually be in real time with real people, right? Definitely, we're setting better boundaries. We're saying no when we mean no, or letting people know that that's not okay with me if they're, talking to you in a disempowering way. So we're setting better boundaries. Your ancestors are helping you with that. And again, we're healing the lineage, our family line. Maybe there's been a pattern on your mom's side or your dad's side, or both sides of the family, that have gone back for many generations. And this could be saying that you are here at this time to kind of end that pattern, release that pattern, heal that pattern so it doesn't carry forward to the next generation or the next generation. This could be healing something physical in the lineage. I mean, it can be physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, really. And again, this can be the spiritual lineage. So it's like popping into my mind, past lives with, in Atlantis, or a past lifetime you might have had in Egypt, or a Celtic past life. I mean, it could be any time, any place, any dimension, to where we're healing some sort of lower vibrational pattern, emotion, feeling, thought form, belief system, perception from one of these other times, from our lineage. Huge karmic release cycle happening for you right now, pre-night people. And I love how this is like a doorway, right? It's like we're being activated with the fire and the flame, and we're moving through the doorway to release old karma and to walk into something new. This is almost like the standing stones, right? I always think of Outlander, one of my favorite shows, where she travels back in time through touching the standing stones. So you are going back in time, because there really is no time or space in the Akash, right? And so we're able to simultaneously live in the past, present, and future. That means we can heal the past, the present, and the future all at once as well. So very exciting times. Look at this kind of spiral of energy. It's like the Katakas. It's this spiral of almost like Kundalini energy, activation energy that's happening here. So call in your ancestors and ask them to connect with you, ask them to guide you, ask them to give you messages, and ask for their assistance. All right, let's put that back in the deck, and let's see what the Ruby and Matrix people get. Special message for Ruby and Matrix. Ruby people, Ruby and Matrix, for the month of August. Ruby. This one's calling my attention here in the middle. Let's pull that out. This one's Memories of Atlantis. Interesting that I mentioned Atlantis already. Memories of Atlantis. Now, we've got an Ankh here. For a minute there, I almost thought it looked like the symbol for Venus or the symbol for Pluto. But as I look at it a little bit more closely, this is like an Ankh symbol. And it says at the bottom, spiritual acceleration. So again, these light codes, these activations that are happening right now, they're helping to accelerate your spiritual growth and evolution. It's almost like we got another doorway here, right? Another doorway that we're walking through. The rest of the card says progress and technology. So in a 3D sense, you could be learning more about how to use technology, like with your website or new programs, or, there's wonderful things out there like Dropbox and Asana. And now I'm not technologically inclined, but I've kind of dabbled with using a few of these things for my business. So this might be a time where you're learning a little bit more about how to upscale your business through the use of technology. Or we might have some new technology coming in. Well, there's always AI, right? I know a lot of people like with website stuff and automation emails, and AI will answer people's questions for you. Now, I'm not that techie. And I know a lot of people are a little concerned about that kind of technology, but this could still be, about some higher technology that will be presenting itself very soon. But the Memories of Atlantis, this could be about, the light worker side versus those that were kind of in power and control. We're kind of, to me, repeating history a little bit when it comes to that here on the collective level of this planet. But I also see the changes that are happening. I see the divine feminine energies rising. I see the masculine energies in part trying to heal and open their hearts and soften their energy. So, there's a little bit of a challenge going on, just like there were in the times of Atlantis. But some of you may actually have or remember that you have lifetimes in the Atlantean time period. And there is, again, this progress and spiritual acceleration, evolution, healing, releasing that's happening as we're in this energy of the Lion's Gate and throughout the rest of this month. So it might be worth doing a past life regression, for instance, or doing some uncensored journaling to tap into what the clues might be in this card for you, what the memories of Atlantis might be for you, and what your angels and guides might want you to pay attention to and be aware of. Maybe it's about gifts, talents, and abilities coming out, right? It could be about healing old energies from that time period, but can be about activating these gifts, these spiritual connections that you had back in the Atlantean time period, and reactivating those for yourself so that you can use them for the world, for the collective in a beneficial way. Okay. All right, let's put that back in the deck and let's see what the, blue tiger eye people. Special message for blue tiger eye for the month of August. Blue tiger eye people for the month of August. This one grabbed my attention. Oh no, you guys, I can't believe it. Memories of Atlantis. There's definitely something about the memories of Atlantis happening in this month of August for a good portion of you. So everything that I said for the previous Ruby and Matrix people is also meant for you. And I keep getting drawn like they want me to talk about this Ankh for a minute. So as I'm looking at this, the angels and guides, or we want to call them masters, teachers, and loved ones of the Akash, they're talking about how, the cross, right? Like the Christianity cross is basically, a horizontal line and a perpendicular line kind of connected together. And there's a particular meaning to that they're not necessarily going into sharing with me, but just that it is, this like two directions. Like we got horizontal, almost like earthly direction, and then we've got spiritual, up and down direction. So we've got the earthly third dimensional plane, and we've got the higher planes of reality, and somehow intersected here. But when you look at the Ankh has part of what looks like the cross, but instead it's got like a circle on top. And there's something special about that circle, meaning infinity, the Alpha and the Omega, something that's always never, it's never ending. It's just like our souls are never ending, right? Our souls are infinite. That's what they want me to bring in, is there's an infinity feeling with the Ankh. There's an infinite flow of energy with the Ankh. And this circle is kind of like source. Like if you think about the sun, is like a circle. In astrology, the symbol for the sun is a circle with a dot in it. But the sun is like this giver of life. The sun is the giver of life. The circle is never ending. It's infinite. It's always beginning and ending. And so there's something about that Ankh that they want you to pay attention to, realizing that you are an infinite being with infinite gifts, talents, and abilities. And no matter what your experience might have been in the Atlantean times, that your infinite soul is like ever flowing towards peace and unity and completion and healing and evolution and all of those wonderful things. So I don't know if I did it justice what they wanted me to share, but that's what came through. So I hope you've all enjoyed this monthly Empowered Moments video, sending you all lots of love and light, and remember to welcome in those higher vibrational light codes, everyone. I'll see you next month. I'll see you next week, or maybe I'll see you in a session soon. Sending you many, many blessings. Namaste.